Secrets are a very cool part about upgraded play, in my opinion. Maintaining a secret and not letting it be the chip on your shoulder is really cool, and having that secret spoiled is a huge break in a breach in trust for many players if they're really trying to keep that secret. Like if the DM goes, oh yeah, you noticed that, so yeah, that's secret's out, like that sucks. You'd much rather have that be a part of that person's agency. But we ran into it a little bit when I was trying to make an immersive experience by having lots of whispers with different players, like certain dream sequences or things that they were seeing, but then they would respond with whispers. But if you look at a chat log for, say, Solomon's driving the ship, he didn't see anything. And that was, boring for him because he didn't get to really play. And that's, it's a difficult thing to try and balance, because if you're going to whisper and have a lot of whisper, it's like you need to make sure you're whispering with everyone. So that everybody has something to interact with. And that was right before my burnout when I needed to take a break. But that was the main lesson to take away from there. So if you're going to use the whisper function, it is my recommendation that if you're going to have an extended period of whispering, that you are whispering everyone something. Or if there's someone that has all the common knowledge, but everyone else is busy doing whispers, that's also a thing.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when that's one of the things I actually kind of like about table stuff, is that the whisper function is really nice and it facilitates a lot of the things we couldn't do before. However, if people are feeling left out, that's where I feel the table element is much more conducive to like a satisfying story, because then everyone sees what happens as players, even if their characters don't. And like, there's always going to be a secret that's like, well, it's better off that only that person knows it. But it can be really exciting to as a player to observe how other characters are unfolding in their story. Kind of like with Rowan in, I think, 2 sessions ago or something. She had a really interesting dream sequence, and I said it was better off to have it kind of publicly, so that everybody could see the weird stuff that goes on in this vision. And
even during that vision, we kept having people interrupt and go, wait, do I see that? I go to the door, like, this is a vision. This is only for this
I think
person.
That happened like 2 times or something.
2 or 3, yeah.
I was like, did we miss the premise of this? Like, that's always funny to me. But yeah, it's always like using the whisper function. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it's just a matter of figuring out when it is appropriate to use it. I agree. I think that you should, if you're having a lot of whispering going on, then it should be like everyone should have their own whisper thing. But when you have 6 players, sometimes that can be a little tougher. So, ups and downs for each.
Yeah, it was less that you were feeling left out because you were having whispers at the same time. It was more just that the team wasn't really communicating.
It was more that I just was feeling lost. Like, if my whisper conversation kind of ended and there was just kind of like, from my end, I just thought nothing was happening. Other people were still talking. So it was more just like it'd be nice to have like a heads up of like, I'm gonna have a whisper conversation right now.
Yeah.
Just to like, or just like letting us know that it's not just a stalemate and you're not just waiting for us to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a clarification of what's dead air and what is I'm still talking to people.
Right, and that was one of the things that definitely came up was, everybody pretty much had because it was, we're all gonna split up gang and look for clues. So they were all in different parts of kind of the area, right? And just some of them resolved their thing faster than others. And then some of them tried to inappropriately butt in on other people's conversations and stuff. And so it was just kind of a management thing from there. Because remember, as the DM, if you're having whisper conversations with everybody, that means you're having 4 times as much dialogue as if you have a 4-person party than each player is having. Now I'm not sure I quite buy that secrets are necessary to have a higher level of play.
Oh no, they're not necessary.
Yeah.
I mean that they are an element of higher level play.
Or I
like-
would say like a symptom. Like it's a sign that you could be, because I have seen players very unskillfully implement secrets.
Yes.
And I've also had really successful high level games without any secrets.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a requirement.
Yeah, I do.
To do them correctly would be a sign of higher level play.
Yeah, and that's the thing I've definitely found is there's been times where there have been little secrets kind of let out so far in the game, and usually, like I even did it before your guys' next session for this, which is I text the player or I whisper to the player like, listen, your secret could be let out. Is this an appropriate time to let this secret out? And also, just to be really clear, I want this to be a secret, you know? I don't want people to know this. And of course, you also don't want to disservice the other players who and their agency if they understand that there's a secret and they want to find it out, you know? Because that's a different thing. Is now if it's like, if I'm playing an investigative character who doesn't trust people and is like, you have a secret that might get us killed. Is there any way you can confirm you're not going to get us killed? Because in character, I've been backstabbed enough times. Literally, here's the scar that I don't want to die. Are you someone I can trust or can't trust? And I think that's where the complication comes in, you know, is how do you get into the middle where you're like, this player has a secret, but it's not a secret that is going to negatively detriment your character.
Thank you so much for listening to some of our podcast highlights. This podcast is part of the Darkmoor Podcast Network. If you want to support the content creators, feel free to visit our Patreon. And please, game responsibly.